Welcome to Sound Bites. I'm Holly Whitfield, Digital Director at the Daily Memphian, and I'm here with our producer, Natalie Van Gundy. Sound Bites is the Daily Memphian's weekly food, drink, and dining podcast. You can tune in on WYXR Radio every Thursday at 11 a.m., or, of course, you can listen wherever you get your podcasts, iTunes or Spotify. You can also listen at dailymemphian.com. This week, Natalie is on the mic. So excited. The two of us are going to talk about an upcoming food event in Memphis, Bon Appetit. And we are going to use that event, which neither of us have been to before, to talk about a ton of Memphis chefs and lots of local restaurant lore.
A lore dump. And of course, we're also going to share what we do know about the event, which is a huge fundraiser for Le Bonheur Children's Hospital. If you are listening on WYXR, up next, you can hear the sidebar with Eric Barnes, Daily Memphian CEO. This week, he is continuing his conversation with music producer Matt Ross-Spang. But let's get started. Natalie, thanks again for being on the mic this week.
I'm excited.
Chris actually just sent me, Chris Harrington, who's normally on Soundbites, just sent me a picture of his new home full of moving boxes. So that's why it's just the gals today. But I'm excited to go through this list and I'm excited to go to Le Bon Appetit with you.
I am too.
Because we have never been. This is what I know about it, and you tell me what you know. It's been going on several years. It's, like I said, big fundraiser for Le Bonheur Children's Hospital. It's 30 chefs, a mix of Memphis people and visiting chefs. They're providing food, small bites. I'm assuming there's going to be drinks. It honestly reminds me of Food and Wine Fest.
Yeah.
Both Memphis Food and Wine Fest and, Food and Wine Fest in general, go from table to table, meet the chefs. They're all doing something a little different. I get the feeling that, and from past articles that we've done covering this event, that it's leaning on the gourmet side. It's definitely a higher ticket price than some fundraising events in Memphis, which is partially why I have not been before. $250 for a ticket for that. That includes all your food and drink. But, it's a fundraiser.
Well, and there are other options, different tiers of tickets you can buy for different things, I think, for this event.
For this one, that is one thing that I believe is new or newer to Le Bon Appetit this year. They're going to do a late night event from 9 to 11. So the event proper starts at 6, and then afterwards they're going to have more chefs, bartenders. Unapologetic is a local creative collective and music label. They are going to provide the music, DJs.
Frances Berry, I think, will be creating a piece, and also some of her pieces might be up for auction. People know her as, Where is Frances?
Where is Frances on Instagram?
Yes.
Yes. And so that ticket is $100, and I think that's really smart. So people can, if you get a VIP experience, you can stick around for the after party if you just want to do the after party. Anyways, it sounds amazing. It's at the Kent downtown. I've been to several events there.
I have not, so I'm excited to see it. Also, you mentioned Memphis Food and Wine, and a lot of the names that are going to be at this event in terms of chefs, if you go to Memphis Food and Wine, a lot of them are there as well.
Yes. Memphis Food and Wine, is it happening this year?
Probably. It's in the fall, right? I remember wearing long sleeves last time I went.
It's normally in October, but yes, it will be me and Natalie's first time to go to this event, and you can bet that we will report back. So as we go through this list of chefs whose delicious bites we can expect to taste, we may have some missing pieces of information that we're making notes so that we can get our answers and come back and tell you.
Make corrections.
But let's get going. There is a host chef.
Yes, and I think it's Kelly English is one of them, and I do think that this is sort of his event every year. You often see him at any of his restaurants. He's always wearing the Le Bonheur apron, or it's got Le Bonheur branding on it for this event. Anyway, Kelly English from Panta, which I guess now is Swamp Bar.
It is, yeah.
Restaurant Iris, Second Line. At some point in the recent past, he acquired Fino's. He's been on several podcast episodes. I'm pretty sure most Memphians know who Kelly English is.
Yes. Whether they knew him from his original tiny restaurant, Iris Days in Overton Square, to now Big Grown Up Restaurant Iris in Laurelwood.
Where Grove Grill used to be.
Where Grove Grill used to be. There's the restaurant lore coming through. But yeah, it appears he is one of the hosting chefs, and the other hosting chef is Chef Philip Duane.
Yeah, and we're going to jump around here a little bit. Philip Duane is also, I guess, is he the late night host for the late night portion?
Yep.
You might know him from Park and Cherry. I believe it's the cafe inside the Dixon.
Yes.
I haven't made it over there yet, but I think he's been there for a while. I hear good things.
Yeah.
I've seen his food on Instagram. It looks delicious. So I'm excited to stick around for the late night portion and see what he has to offer. Another featured chef, not at the late night portion, but just in general, is Andrew Adams at Acre, which love Acre. Acre is beautiful out here in East Memphis off of, is it Perkins or Perkins Extended?
It's one of those. It's one the curvy one.
The curvy one. And it's beautiful. Looks like an old house. Gorgeous. Great food. Cute bar.
Great courtyard.
Beautiful courtyard. And I've seen people get married there.
Yeah.
It looks very lovely. Okay. After Andrew Adams, Jimmy Gentry will be there too. People today probably know him from The Lobbyist, but he also runs all things Paradox. I think they've got a catering company.
Yes.
Well, I know they have a catering company because we've used Paradox several times. He also had P.O. Press back in the day in Collierville.
I remember that.
Yeah, I never made it over there, but we wrote a lot about it. They've since closed down, obviously. People love P.O. Press, and a lot of the people that love P.O. Press love The Lobbyist. Have you been, Holly?
I haven't been to The Lobbyist somehow or another, but I am very familiar with Chef Gentry's food, and it's very inventive. Mm-hmm. It's very vegetable forward, and not in a bad way, like in the very best,
I love that.
Best way. A lot of creative seasonings and spices. You know, he's not afraid to use global influences, and you're just going to have something different, I feel like, with his food. And everything I've seen from The Lobbyist, I don't know why I haven't been there. I'm sorry, Chef Jimmy. I know he listens. I'll be there soon.
Oh, he does?
I think he listens.
Hi, Jimmy. Thanks for listening.
But we'll get to taste something at Le Bon Appetit, and then maybe I'll make a reservation and we can do another full report back. But
I will say the thing I hear the most about from The Lobbyist is how good the carrots are. Apparently the carrots are just to die for. And maybe those same carrots or some similar were also served at P.O. Press. Sorry, again, we might have to make corrections. But
that sounds familiar, though.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to look into that. Or maybe we ask them.
Magical mystery carrots.
Yes.
What's so great about them?
Are they being served at this event?
Maybe so.
Another chef that's going to be featured at this event is Dave Krog. People know him with Dory. I believe he owns that restaurant with his wife.
Amanda, yes.
Amanda. And right when they opened, Jennifer Biggs wrote a pretty extensive story about how that came to be. And he has also been at Bari, Erling Jensen's interim, at least there towards the end of interim.
Yeah, I think he was the last chef at interim before that closed. But Dory is him and Amanda's, like, everything that they've been working towards within their time in the restaurant industry. It's a gourmet tasting restaurant. So
a stone's throw away from us right now.
Right now in Brookhaven Circle. A really unique place, really cool. They use seasonal ingredients and everything local. And so their menu changes all the time, which I think is nice. Like, I always like a place where you can go and get your favorites, but if there's a place that's constantly changing as well, and you know that going in. Right. I think that's why Dory has been put on a lot of, like, best restaurant lists for Memphis and best new restaurants in the South and that sort of thing. Yes. So Chef Krog will be there with Dory at this event.
Yes. Looking forward to trying some of his fares. Patrick Riley will also be there. People know Patrick Riley with The Majestic. I believe he's with Kokoza. I mean, it's not just Denny over there with Kokoza, his wife.
Yes.
And back in the day, I don't remember what year this was, but Denny and Patrick ran The Front Porch, which was, if anyone remembers.
I do.
It was very brief, but that restaurant on the river,
under
Beale Street
Landing, under the little hill, kind of, right? I really liked it. I know it had...
What did you eat there? I didn't even get to eat there. I think I had some drinks there.
Some sort of salad. I think it had salmon on it. It was very good for like a middle of the day lunch, because it was also like summer when they were open. It was very short-lived, but I also loved that if you walked to, I guess it was like North Main at some point, and you were going to that restaurant, there was a golf cart there that was going to pick you up and take you. You just had to either wait for it or flag it down, and they would drive you the rest of the way. But I really liked the food. I was sad it didn't work out for various reasons. But I think it's just been hard to run a restaurant in that space.
Yeah, Beale Street Landing is a whole other can of worms in terms of like being able to have a restaurant there. But Patrick and Denny, another husband and wife team, have long-standing downtown staple, the Majestic, amazing patio, amazing brunch.
Classic.
They took the brunch away. The people cried out.
They brought it back.
And then Kokaza is the harbor town.
Kokaza.
I don't actually know. Kokaza? You know what? It's really good. They call it a red sauce Italian joint. She's told me a bunch of times. I can't remember which way it is.
People know what we're talking about. And if you don't, just do your best to Google it and it'll pop up.
That applies to so many things.
It does.
No, they're great. I'm happy they'll be at this event. They're usually at Food and Wine Fest too.
Oh, that's true. Yes. All their food is always great. Never had a bad meal with them. Another chef that will be there is Ben Smith with Tsunami. Probably one of the longest running restaurants in Memphis of that caliber, right?
Yeah.
In terms of good food that's been around, kind of the start of that food scene for us.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Tsunami is woven into Cooper Young's fabric, so it makes sense that he would also be there.
True. Another chef, Eli Townsend. We've actually had him on a podcast before, season 5, episode 14, last year.
Season 5. There's been 5 seasons.
I think we're on season 6.
That's exciting.
It is. You might know him from Dos Hermanos, which was in Cosset Library. He started Sage. Now he's back.
Yes.
And is Sage still on North Main?
Yes. It's like down the street or very near to Majestic, actually.
Oh,
like all of those places are kind of all in the same area.
Yeah, that opened pre-pandemic, so I'm glad to see that they were able to survive it and are still running, and now it looks like he's back.
Yeah, Sage is kind of like a soul food, modern twist, good drinks.
Love the name.
Lots of brunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have good stuff there.
Kind of trendy inside.
Exactly.
It's very cool. Instagram worthy.
Mm-hmm.
Also, at this event will be Andy and Michael, Andy Tyser and Michael Hubman. Everybody knows them. Andy Michael Italian Kitchen, Hong and Hominy, Catherine and Mary's, Bishop, Little Betty and Wiseacre. They also run a restaurant in New Orleans, Josephine Estelle, which Holly's been to.
Yeah, it's been several years since I have been to Josephine Estelle. I think that this is right. I think that their grandmothers are Josephine and Estelle and Catherine and Mary. So they've named their restaurants after their grandmothers. If I'm making that up, don't tell me, because I like this story. No,
I like it too.
I'm pretty sure that's right. Josephine Estelle is very similar to Catherine and Mary's, although I remember thinking like the portions were larger, which makes a lot of sense for New Orleans.
Right.
And it's in the bottom of the Ace Hotel, ACE, which is a very trendy boutique hotel kind of mini chain that came through in the mid 2010s. That is, I mean, I say it like that. Trendy. It's not a negative thing. It's very cool. So they kind of found this neat sort of mid-century modern, but with like a tropical kind of Miami gold
in New Orleans
vibe, round globe lamps. Like that's what I remember, and I remember being very impressed. But rest in peace to some of their other Memphis restaurants.
Great Canary, Porcelino's, which now at Porcelino's is Fox Ridge Pizza, another place that's nearby where we are right now. I don't know if anything's... Oh, Great Canary, that space was kind of absorbed by Old Dominic, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Did I make that up?
Nope, that's exactly it. So Great Canary was in the same like building as the Old Dominic Distillery, and I think that, I mean, Andrew and Michael have plenty of restaurants.
Yeah, they're not hurting without it.
With Bishop a few doors down and Catherine and Mary's like a block or two away.
Yeah. It makes sense that they didn't necessarily need to have that third spot there. So I think Old Dominic is using it as event rental space, but you never know what could pop up in the future.
Yeah, I feel like they have so many ideas. Which concept of theirs that is currently running right now in our city is your favorite?
I love Catherine and Mary's. It's one of my favorite restaurants.
So good.
It's just the vibe is it hits the right note between like a casual, comfortable, and also feeling like a special occasion.
I love the bar.
I love the bar. I love all the big windows. It's very downtown, feels very downtown, and the food is so delicious. We've talked about them before.
Well, the location's fabulous right there by the Orpheum. It's the perfect spot to drop by after a show. Can't go wrong with Catherine and Mary's. I love...
Yeah, what's your favorite?
I just love Hog and Hominy. It's right over here.
Yes.
I live over here or nearby. I love the bar at Hog and Hominy. I love the vibe in that entire place. And I love pizza. All right, so Andy and Michael will be there with something delicious, I'm sure. Bala Tunkara, I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, with Bala's Bistro will be there. We hear great things about Bala's Bistro all the time. But did he not tell Chris that at some point he wanted to compete in the Memphis in May barbecue championship?
Yes.
The cooking contest?
So Bala opened a West African barbecue restaurant earlier in 2024 called Mande Dibby.
That's right, yes.
And as part of he had a conversation with Chris Harrington about that and about how he was inspired by Memphis barbecue culture and his own roots. And so he kind of made this fusion restaurant, and that he was going to compete in Memphis in May or Barbecue
settled.
Fest some point. So maybe we'll get to try some of that barbecue.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I hope that's what he's serving at this event. Jason Sievers with Bari will be there. I love Bari. Another bar that I really enjoy. Mm-hmm. I've only been once since it's been the new, old Bari versus new Bari. Old Bari was in Overton Square. Mm-hmm. New Bari's a little bit further down the street, kind of near Peabody and Cooper.
Right. It's at Peabody and Cooper. I have talked to so many people who are like, what? There's a new Bari? Where is it? And so that's fine. We'll tell you. Or Natalie just told you, it's at Peabody and Cooper. They have a patio now.
It's really cute.
It's really cute. It's a great spot. All of their,
it's pretty light and airy in there now, too, compared to what it used to be.
Yes. It was, very, old world, which had its own charms in their former location, Overton Square. But I like the new one. Great bar. So Jason and Rebecca Sievers own Bari. And I hope they make some delicious pastas for this.
I went last week and I had the carbonara. It was delicious. And then I had a very special tequila cocktail with some cherries in it. It was just very good. So love Bari, great food. Oh, and their cheese selection. Oh, amazing. Delicious. Yes. All right. Jonathan Magianis will be there with Las Tortugas. Everybody loves Las Tortugas. 2 locations. Mm-hmm. One in East Memphis, almost in Germantown, kind of near International Paper. The other one is in Germantown, kind of close to Cordova. Mm-hmm. Or maybe that area is still Cordova. I think it's Germantown, but on Germantown Parkway.
Yes. Las Tortugas Deli
The freshest food. Yeah, very good. Everyone loves it. Nate Hensler with Amelia Jeans will be there. Amelia Jeans, fairly new. Have they even been around a year at this point?
Nah, I don't know. Not quite. Very close, if so.
Yeah, part of the Carlisle Restaurant Group, which Nate was also at Fancy's Fish House prior to Amelia Jeans opening. Fancy's Fish House no longer in operation. Not sure if it's coming back. Do we know?
We don't know. I don't think. I think they said they were closing to sort of rebrand, but anything could happen. So these are the spots that are downtown, right on near the river.
I heard great things. Never made it by.
I have not been to Amelia Jeans. I know that Joshua Carlucci did a full review of that restaurant that we have at dailymemphian.com. If you want some more details, but he went and had all the full courses, including the cheese course.
On the cheese cart, right?
Yeah, a cheese cart they bring to your table and
so
cut the cheese for you right there.
Bring me the cheese. Mm-hmm. Sarah Kai and Arturo Layton They're with Good Fortune. I love Good Fortune so much.
It's good.
The goodest of fortunes. I believe Sarah's the chef. Arturo kind of does the business side. Mm-hmm. I love that place. The mural inside is gorgeous. I think, this is a little side note getting off topic, I think the mural inside Good Fortune might be done by the same artist that does the Sugar Ghost murals as well.
Yes, and the mural at the new Gem, Jem restaurant as well.
Very cool. I just wish they were open for lunch.
I know, and I wish they took reservations, but I totally understand why they didn't. Also, I wanted to name drop that muralist.
Oh, yes, please do.
Ivy Jade Edwards is the muralist who did the big, colorful artwork at all these places we just named. I love Good Fortune. I just took a friend there for the first time, got wings, dumplings, all the good stuff, and the ice cream. It's a soft serve in the little fish soft waffle
taiyaki,
cone.
Right?
Yes, something like that. Yeah.
Yum. It's very cute. The wings are incredible. You would not think to get them at a ramen place, but you should. Don't miss out on these wings. They are so good.
And good drinks. So
great drinks.
Kind of a whole package. My it's a little loud in there. Maybe I'm showing my age.
No, I think it's a little loud in there too. But it doesn't stop me from going.
No.
I prepare myself for it to be loud.
An ideal visit to Good Fortune would be to arrive like the moment that they open.
That's all I do.
Not on a Friday or Saturday.
If they open at 4, I'm there at 4:01.
Right.
I'm on that granny schedule. Get me in early. Ryan Trim will be there. Everybody loves Ryan Trim. He owns Sunrise. In the past, he's had 117 Prime, Sweetgrass Next Door, Third and Court, and Southward Fare and Libations, which I knew nothing of. But Holly remembers it well.
I remember Southward. If you remembered Southward, send me an email because this feels like a fever dream. But it was just kind of like this new South, low country, American, Southern seafood forward spot. And it was in the Regalia Shopping Center where Bog and Barley is now, or Great Wines and Spirits. That
whole area, that
parcel,
situation.
Yes. I just remember that was where I had mussels for the first time.
Oh, I bet they were good.
They were really good, but it was weird because they were in like a PBR broth. And you have to remember this was like the height of like PBR being the beer of choice for hipsters. And this was also sort of like the height of hipster.
Is it not anymore?
I don't know.
Hipsters, email us.
I moved past that. I moved past keeping up with what they're doing. But I mean, this had to be 2014 or 2013.
It was.
15. But Ryan has gone on to make Sunrise happen. And Sunrise is the great breakfast spot. I actually went there to their East Memphis location, which is where Blue Plate on Poplar used to be. Like at Poplar and 240.
It's barely recognizable as that now, though, because they did the additions and then the total renovation. I'm pretty sure that place was gutted.
It looks fantastic inside.
I know. It's really great.
It's really nice there. Yeah, I liked that place.
I still love the downtown location, too. I'm just not out that way anymore now that we're out east with Daily Memphian.
Right.
I loved Third and Court. Did you ever go?
I went there a lot because I worked downtown and we needed a lunch place to just like get a chicken sandwich or like get a salad or like.
It had like a little diner theme inside.
It was very cute.
I loved it. Good food, and it was within walking distance. I was there at least once or twice a week. I loved it. I'm pretty sure it didn't survive COVID, and that's why it's gone.
Yeah, and it's connected to the Hotel Indigo as well, so I don't know like what their arrangement was. I know that can present an extra challenge when you're trying to run a restaurant in tandem with like providing room service and hotel in a pandemic.
You know what's funny is I didn't even consider that they would be the provider for that. But now Biscuits and Jams, I think their second location will be going into that space. Either it already has or it will soon.
They're getting ready to open, I feel like, any day. They're kind of like doing a soft opening thing, Biscuits and Jams is.
Well, Chef Mo with Biscuits and Jams will be at our small business seminar. Just a little side note. So if you want to hear about her journey, register for that event. But everybody loved Sweetgrass Next Door. I think everybody misses it, even though Public Bistro has been a welcome addition to the Cooper Young neighborhood since Sweetgrass left.
Yeah, Public Bistro is good. I went there last week. I guess I ate out a lot last week. But
good for you.
But yeah, it's tasty. It's great. They also have good drinks, and I really like their vibe. So
yeah, the decor's nice.
All is not lost. Also, at the Sunrise in East Memphis, they have a fried green tomato BLT sandwich.
Yum.
Which is what they had, and I always ordered at Sweetgrass next door.
Oh.
It's not exactly the same. The bread is different, but it approximates the scratch of the itch of the old fried green tomato BLT.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
I remember Jennifer Biggs loved the corn dogs at Sweetgrass next door. I don't know which one, maybe both. It'd be great if Ryan could figure out a way to incorporate that into the Sunrise menu somehow. Can we make corn dogs work with breakfast food?
I feel like you can.
I think he can.
Yeah.
If anyone can do it, it's Ryan. Rennie Alfonso with Bog and Barley will be there. He's also been with Chez Philippe at the Peabody before he was with Bog and Barley, but people love Bog and Barley.
I love Bog and Barley.
It's good. I love their deviled eggs with the little caviar on top. Fish and chips. I think I even messaged you about the fish and chips today on Instagram. I saw you posted a picture of it.
I did.
Because you've had it in May. Delicious.
Scotch egg. Really good service also at Bog and Barley. I want to mention that because the bar for service overall, sorry to everyone we just mentioned, but everywhere in the whole city and the world, it's gone down. It's gone down. And you just adjust. But at Bog and Barley, it's really great. So shout out to DJ Naylor, who owns that in Celtic Crossing, and to Rennie. And I hope they make... I don't know. I eat their Scotch egg all the time. So I hope they make something different.
I need to order the Scotch egg.
You do.
Because I've only had the deviled egg. I mean, I've had more than that, but in terms of eggs.
Yeah.
Only deviled, never Scotch. Their little, what do they call it? The whiskey bar on the second level at Bog and Barley. Very cool. It's my husband's favorite spot. So they will be there as well. Excited for that. There's a lineup of dessert chefs, which... whether you realize it or not, they're people you're familiar with. Everybody knows Kat Gordon with Muddy's. She'll be there. She's been on a podcast episode before, season 2, episode 8, back in 2020. I feel like I can talk about Muddy's for a whole episode, but
right.
We all love Muddy's. Conrad Spitzbart with the Peabody will be there. He's been on an episode of the podcast back in 2019, season 1, episode 36, Candy with Conrad. Inga Thiek. I hope I'm saying that correctly. She does all of the pastries and desserts for Kelly English's restaurants. I follow her on Instagram, and I see the photos she posts of her desserts all the time. They look delicious, so I can't wait to try.
I need to follow her. As we said, there are also several late-night chefs and bartenders, mixologists. We'll talk more about them next week. Or next time after we've actually gone to Le Bon Appetit, which, just to remind you, is June 8th, coming up real soon at the Kent in downtown Memphis. It's a fundraiser for Le Bonheur Children's Hospital. I did want to shout out one other foodie event that's happening in June, just because I think it's a really good one. The Craft Food and Wine Festival is on June 23rd at the Columns. This is another one where you're going around and you're getting different little bites. It's a focus sort of like on meat and cheese and charcuterie is kind of how it started, but now it's expanded into more like local gourmet offerings. And that is run by Christina McCarter, who has her Feast and Graze meat and cheese snack plate company, and it benefits Church Health Center. So that is Craft Food and Wine, June 23rd, Le Bon Appetit, June 8th. And that is for sure all of the time we have for today. You can tune in to Soundbites on WYXR every Thursday at 11, or listen wherever you get your podcasts, iTunes or Spotify. And of course, you can listen at dailymemphian.com. Thank you to Natalie Van Gundy, our producer, makes all the podcasts happen, and occasionally will turn on the microphone and share her food opinions as well. We will talk to y'all soon.
Bye.